Today's lesson is Sabrina Carpenter, Pop's next big thing. Hi, everybody. I'm Roger.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're not going to be talking about Taylor Swift per se. We probably will mention her as our lesson continues, but we're going to be focusing on someone who's kind of similar. She's the next big thing in terms of pop music. Her name is Sabrina Carpenter, and I don't really follow pop music that much myself, Mike, so I haven't really heard of this person before, but I'm sure I will be dazzled by her musical ability.
Well, yeah, she's definitely one of these talented young female singers that we seem to be having a great bounty of, a great bonanza of. There's a lot of great singers in the Taylor Swift kind of mold, but a lot of them have their own unique style and unique sound. So it's really interesting to see how ladies have kind of taken over the pop world, both in hip-hop and also in more traditional pop. And yeah, to call her the next big thing, well, we're not making a prediction. We're not sort of deciding that this is the way it's going to be, but it does seem like she has a very promising career. And I mean, it's even strange to think of, well, now that Taylor Swift is getting older, it almost seems like she hasn't been around that long, but she has actually. So pop music and the producers and the people who run the record labels, they're always looking for the next big thing, tomorrow's big star, someone who will kind of pick up if Taylor Swift decides to get married and have kids and stop, making his music as much as she does now. Who's going to be the next one? Well, it could be Sabrina Carpenter. So let's find out about her life, her music, and some of the things she has planned in the future as we get into our article. Sabrina Carpenter, Pop's next big thing. When singer-actress Sabrina Carpenter was still in elementary school, she covered Taylor Swift's song White Horse. Little did Carpenter then know that one day she would not only be the pop icon's opening act, but also be one of her good friends.
大家好，第一部分介绍名词 elementary， 它的意思是基本的或是初级的、基础的意思。例如 The elementary students ran outside to play during their lunch break. 小学生在午餐休息时跑到外面玩。或者 Reading and writing are elementary skills that children have to learn. 阅读和写作是孩子们必须学习的基本技能。下一个看到名词 icon， 表示偶像、代表人物。同时也可以是图示或是图标的意思。例如 With one hit movie after another, the director has become an icon of the film industry. 该导演的卖座电影一部接着一部，已经成为电影业的代表人物。或是 The peace symbol has become an icon of non-violent protest. 和平符号已成为非暴力抗议的标志。
Okay, so here in the first part, it begins by saying, when singer-actress Sabrina Carpenter was still in elementary school, she covered Taylor Swift's song, White Horse. Okay, so she was quite young when she started studying music. I believe she studied piano and the guitar. And when she was still in elementary school, she actually did a cover of a Taylor Swift song. Okay, so sometimes when you go see concerts, the band may not be singing their original material. They will be doing covers. They're actually called a cover band. They'll just do their own versions of songs that somebody else already did. So she did a cover of this song, I guess in a school performance. She actually sang a Taylor Swift song, and the title of the song is White Horse. That may have been during Taylor Swift's country era when she was a country singer. She actually transitioned into pop music later on because I guess you can make more money that way. But in any case, she did a cover of that song, and I'm sure she did a really great job.
Yeah, a lot of young people love to do this. They'll record another person's song in their bedroom, put it up on YouTube, and who knows, sometimes they can get hundreds of thousands, millions of views. And of course, producers and record company executives are often looking at these videos as well as the fans, trying to find someone who's good-looking, talented, seems to have a good connection with their audience, and who the audience seems to be embracing by watching their video over and over. So Sabrina Carpenter kind of cut got through that way and got some attention that way. And then it says, little did Carpenter then know that one day she would not only be the pop icon's opening act, but also be one of her good friends. I'm sure as an elementary student recording a song or posting her song to YouTube, she would have been shocked, stunned, and just knocked down in surprise if you told her, well, one day that video will make you into Taylor Swift's colleague. You will perform on the same stage with her. She will invite you to go on tour, and you'll actually become good friends. When we say little did someone know that, we're kind of saying they didn't know it at the time. They would have been shocked or surprised at the time. This was unknown to them, but such and such happened. So you might say, it was Jack's 30th birthday. He thought he would have dinner with a few friends. Little did he know that his friends had organized a big surprise party. So he found out later on, but at that time, he was sort of in a state of innocence, in a state of unknowing this important information or this great event was going to happen. So when she was young, she had no idea, basically, that not only would she be the pop icons, that's Taylor Swift's opening act, because she is definitely a pop icon, but she would also, Sabrina Carpenter, would also be one of her, Taylor Swift's, good friends. Yeah, of course, as an elementary school student, she had no idea this is what the future had in store for her, and now she is Taylor Swift's friend and also her colleague who opens her shows. To open the show just means you're the first artist to go on. You kind of warm up the crowd, do a shorter performance, and then the big star comes on after you. So that's to open for someone. And if you're opening for an icon, that means you're going to get a lot more attention than if you were just on tour yourself as a relatively new performer, because an icon is like a legend, like a hero, someone super, super famous, very, very well known. Madonna would be an icon, definitely. The Rolling Stones, these are icons. In Taiwan, Jay Chou, Zhou Lincai, these are icons. They've had a long career, a successful career. They're very popular. And even if you don't like their music or even have listened to their music, you would know who they are. They are just that famous. So not only is she performing with this icon, Taylor Swift, but they're buddies. They're good friends. So that is quite a fate for Sabrina Carpenter to go from an elementary school student covering a Taylor Swift song to hanging out with her and performing with her. Let's find out more in the next part of the article.
Carpenter is loved by her fans for her vibrant personality and dedication to her craft. The seeds of that dedication were planted early on in her life. Carpenter, who was born on May 11, 1999 in Quakertown, Pennsylvania, demonstrated her passion for music from a young age. By the time she was 9, she was already uploading song covers to YouTube.
第二部分看到形容词 vibrant 指的是活跃的或是热情洋溢的。例如 The festival brought a vibrant atmosphere to the town. 该节庆为小镇带来了一种活跃的气息。也可以说 Holly had a great time at the vibrant beach resort. Holly 在那座热情有活力的海滩度假村玩得很开心。再来介绍动词 demonstrate 表示显露表现，也可以是显示或是示范的意思。可以说 David demonstrated an interest in the sales manager position. David 显露出对销售经理职位的兴趣。或者 My mom demonstrated how to chop vegetables very quickly. 我妈妈示范如何快速切菜。
Okay, here's the second part of our lesson for today. Let's talk about it. It says Carpenter is loved by her fans for her vibrant personality and dedication to her craft. Okay, so she's loved by her fans for a couple of reasons. One is because she has a vibrant personality, and the other reason the fans like her is because of her dedication to her craft. If you have a vibrant personality, well, vibrant just means really lively, really active, and people are are attracted to that. So she has this kind of bubbly, outgoing personality, and people like her pretty quickly. But she's also dedicated to her craft. So we've got the phrase to be dedicated to something, which means you work hard at that thing and you don't give up. And here we've got the noun form, dedication. She has dedication to her craft. She works really hard on it. She doesn't let other people do the work for her. She's committed to it. She's a hard worker. She's responsible.
Absolutely. She is very, very focused on becoming a great performer. The seeds of that dedication were planted early on in her life. Okay, so she's always worked hard at things, I guess, and the seeds of her dedication, the seeds of her sort of hard work ethic were planted or were sort of first appeared and first began early on in her life. So basically, she's never been sort of a lazy kid. She's always been hardworking and thrown herself with 100% of her effort and passion into whatever she has done. Let's learn about her early life. It says Carpenter, who was born on May 11th, 1999 in Quakertown, Pennsylvania, demonstrated her passion for music from a young age. There you go. That dedication appeared early on in her life, and she demonstrated this passion or this dedication for music from a young age. To demonstrate is to show something. If you're demonstrating a new thing, you might be showing a person how to use it, right? If you've gone to these trade fairs and whatnot, companies will be there and they'll have models of their new companies and they'll say, hey, come and look at this. We'll show you how to turn it on. We'll show you how it works. We'll show you all the different functions it has. So you can demonstrate something real and physical in the world by just showing how it's used. But you can also demonstrate a part of yourself by just kind of being that way, right? If you're demonstrating your athletic ability as a young person, you might have been on all the different sports teams at school. You played soccer and you played baseball and you played basketball. So you were always doing something and are always doing it well. You're showing off your skill. You're showing off your talent. You're demonstrating your skill and your talent. And she did this from a young age, right? Elementary school was when she first got attention for her Taylor Swift cover. What age exactly was that? I know it must be young because she was in elementary school.
Yep, by the time she was 9 or when she became 9 years old, she was already uploading song covers to YouTube, which, as you said before, is where a lot of people try to become known. They try to become famous by putting things onto YouTube, hopefully to be discovered by a scout or an agent or something like that. So, yeah, she was only 9 years old when she was uploading song covers to YouTube. She would get out her guitar or play her piano or whatever and record them using her smartphone or whatever, a video camera, and then she would upload those videos or those song covers to YouTube. So again, they weren't original songs, they were covers of songs that somebody already did, and I suppose she probably did some Taylor Swift songs as well. Okay, that brings us to the end of the second part of our lesson for today. Here's the third part.
Carpenter's big break came when she landed the role of Maya Hart on the Disney Channel show Girl Meets World in 2013. Around this time, she also began writing songs and pursuing her music career more seriously. In interviews, Carpenter has mentioned the Beatles as being a big influence on her musical development. In 2014, she released her debut EP, Can't Blame a Girl for Trying, which showed her vocal abilities and songwriting talent. Her debut album, Eyes Wide Open, followed in 2015 and helped her solidify her place in the music industry.
第三部分看到动词 pursue， 它的意思是追求、从事，也可以是贯彻的意思。例如 Lydia has decided to pursue a career in medicine. Lydia 决定从事医疗业。又或者说You should pursue anything that makes you happy. 你应该追求任何让你快乐的事物。继续介绍名词 debut， 指的是首次亮相或是首次演出。举例来说 The young actor's debut on the Broadway stage won glowing reviews from critics and audiences alike. 这名年轻演员在百老汇舞台上的首次亮相，获得评论家和观众如潮的好评。又或者说People waited in line for hours to buy the new smartphone when it made its debut. 这款新智慧型手机首次亮相时，人们排队等好几个小时来购买。再来看到形容词 vocal， 表示发声的或是嗓音的。例如 The band scheduled a time to practice their vocal harmonies. 该乐团安排了时间来练习他们的声乐和声。也可以说 By doing vocal exercises, the singer was able to prepare for the performance. 透过声乐练习，那名歌手能够为表演做准备。最后看到动词 solidify 表示使巩固或是稳固。我们可以说 Jerry and Emma hope to solidify their friendship through this project. Jerry 和 Emma 希望透过这个计划来巩固他们的友谊。最后一个例子 After releasing 10 consecutive best-selling books, Tom had solidified his status as an accomplished author. 连续出版10本畅销书后 Tom 稳固了他杰出作家的地位。
All right, so Sabrina Carpenter there. She's a talented 9-year-old. She's recording YouTube covers of Taylor Swift songs and probably some other artists, and like thousands, maybe even millions of young people dreaming that some talent agent or some record company executive will see this and turn her into a star. Well, that actually didn't happen for her. Of course, Justin Bieber was one who famously it did happen for, right? He was discovered by some people with power in the music industry, and they made him into a big star. With Sabrina Carpenter, no, she had to find another way to get into show business, and actually it's a way that other talented young people have also achieved their entertainment profession dreams. It says Carpenter's big break came when she landed the role of Maya Hart on the Disney Channel show Girl Meets World in 2013. So it wasn't YouTube that really brought her to the public's attention. It was appearing in a television program on the Disney Channel. Of course, the Disney Channel makes a lot of these sort of live action comedy shows and drama shows for young people. These aren't the cartoons that they make. These are the shows with talented young stars. And a lot of people have come through this sort of Disney school of entertainment. And yeah, that was a lucky break. To get onto a television program will suddenly make you very familiar with millions of people who watch these popular shows. And definitely a big break. When we say a big break, we usually mean someone in the entertainment world, but it could be kind of anywhere. It's just your lucky chance, your big opportunity that you got, and it led to great success. So it could be, of course, in entertainment, getting a chance to perform with someone really famous, but also in business. Maybe you're sitting next to someone who owns a big company and they like you and they hire you, and that leads to great success. It could be an athlete. The star player breaks their leg and that sort of less talented guy gets to his chance to go on and wins the game, and now he's going to be the big star of the team. And this is a lucky opportunity that comes along. People take that opportunity and they make the most of it, and it leads to great success. But she never really left the idea of having a music career, even when she was acting on television.
Continues on to say, around this time, back in 2013, she also began writing songs and pursuing her music career more seriously. Okay, so she was acting in this TV show, but she was probably more interested in music. So she began to write songs and she pursued her music career more seriously. It wasn't just a fun thing to do song covers and post the videos onto YouTube. No, she was actually being serious about her future music career. She was pursuing her music career. And here the word to pursue usually means to chase somebody or to chase after something. So she began to learn more about music and she wanted to become a musician in the future. She started to do all the things necessary to make that happen.
All right, so it wasn't just a hobby. It was a hobby, but she was getting serious about it. A hobby that she wants to turn into a career. It says in interviews, Carpenter has mentioned the Beatles as being a big influence on her musical development. Isn't that cool how a British band from the 1960s can have a big influence on a young American female pop singer 50 years after the Beatles made their music? There's young people even now listening to them, finding something in the Beatles music that they also really like, that really touches them in the same way that it did way back then. In 2014, it says she released her debut EP, Can't Blame a Girl for Trying, which showed her vocal abilities and songwriting talent. So there you go. She actually did get a real music career. She released a record or released some music. That means she made it available for the public to buy or download or listen to on a streaming service. And this was her debut. A debut is basically your first performance in a certain genre or in a certain style of entertainment. If it's your debut novel, that's your first book that's ever been printed. It might not be the first one you wrote, but it's the first one that's been printed, that's been published, that's been put out into the market for people to buy. Your debut film, your debut television program, this is the first time people saw you. Notice we don't say the T at the end. It's debut because it comes from the French, so don't say debut because that would be wrong and funny. So this was her first recording. It was an EP. An EP is an extended play. That's what EP stands for. So it's not just one song, but it's not a full album. A full album might be 7 or 8 or 9 songs or even more. An EP is usually 4 or 5 songs. It's sort of half an album. It's kind of a sample of some of your recordings, but it allows you to do songs of different styles, right? If it's just one, we would say it's her debut single. That would just be one song that might go into the top 10. An EP might have that popular song, that single on it, but it'll have a few other songs to show that you can do different styles of music, a fast song, a slow song, things like that. The title was Can't Blame a Girl for Trying, and it showed her vocal abilities, her singing abilities. Vocals is just singing. So when you talk about being a vocalist in a band, you're a singer in the band. If you say, I really like your vocals, I really like the way you sing and the sound of your voice. That's all we mean. And also her songwriting talent. So that's interesting. The EP wasn't just cover songs. It wasn't just her re-recording other artists' songs. It was her actually doing her own original song. So songwriting can be both writing the music and the lyrics, or both if you have that talent. So she was recording original songs, and her singing on the EP was very, very good. So that also got her a whole bunch of new fans, and a full album soon followed.
That's right. So, of course, she produced this EP, and people were familiar with her musical style, and they eagerly awaited more. So she released a debut album with the title Eyes Wide Open, and that followed the following year in 2015, and that helped her solidify her place in the music industry. So as you can see here, she's been around for quite some time, actually. This debut album, her first album, came out way back in 2015, which is about 10 years ago, and that solidified her place in the music industry. So if you solidify something, you harden, something gets hardened, and therefore she was now firmly placed in the music industry, and people recognized her as a legitimate talent, and she was going to go up from there, and she was never going to look back again, and the rest is history. Okay, that brings us to the end of our discussion for today. Here comes Hanny.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文一开始提到 Sabrina Carpenter 在小学的时候翻唱了泰勒斯的歌曲，当时她并不知道有一天她不仅会成为这位流行音乐偶像的开场嘉宾，还会成为她的好友之一。文中用到 Little did Carpenter then know that one day she would... 来表达说当时她并不知道有一天她会怎么样怎么样。那这个句子用到了否定副词 little 来当句首，然后用的是倒装句。我们来学习这个用法。当否定副词或者是否定副词片语摆在句首的时候，必须将助动词或 be 动词移到主词前面来进行倒装，那就会形成否定副词或者是否定副词片语加助动词加主词加动词，或者是呢否定副词或否定副词片语加 be 动词加主词这样的句型。而这样的用法呢，常常用来强调或者是加强语气。好，除了 little， 我们来看看其他常常摆在句首形成倒装的否定副词，还有 never 从不， nowhere 无处， seldom 不常很少， rarely 少见地 hardly, barely, scarcely 都可以表达这种几乎不等等的语义。那它们摆在句首的话，记得后面就要形成倒装咯。举例来说，假设我们原本直述句的例句是 They were barely able to make ends meet 他们几乎无法维持生计。现在如果把带有否定意思的副词 barely 移到句首，那这时候 be 动词 were 就必须移到主词 they 的前方来形成倒装，也就是 barely were they able to make ends meet。 好，那同样在刚刚那个课文句子里面 would 的后方是接 not only be the pop icon's opening act but also be one of her good friends。 那这边我们就来整理一下 not only but also 的用法。 not only 点点点 but also 点点点就可以表达不止怎么样还怎么样，不仅怎么样而且怎么样。那它是配对连接词，必须用来连接两个词性相同的字词。连接动词的话，时态就必须一致，就像课文用法。那我们看两个例句。 The artist is not only talented but also creative。 那位艺术家不但有才华，而且又有创意。那这边就是连接了两个形容词。 He not only paints but also writes poems。 他不但会画画，还会写诗。那这边就是连接两个现在式动词。好，另外如果要用 not only but also 去连接两个主词的话，那么动词是要配合最靠近它的主词。举例来说， Not only the dining table but also the chairs need to be replaced。 不只是餐桌，还有椅子都需要换掉。那这时候动词 need 就是配合最靠近它的主词 the chairs， 所以是用 need 而不是用 needs。 好，那么以上今天重点整理，我们来回顾今天单字吧。
Elementary. Ms. Keller teaches math and science to elementary students. Icon. The actress is considered an icon of the fashion industry. Demonstrate. Children who demonstrate self-control tend to perform well in school. Pursue. Janice recently moved to New York to pursue a degree in theater arts. Debut. The band is set to make their debut at the music festival. Vocal. Dave's vocal coach has helped him improve his singing technique.
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Mike.
I am Roger. See you next time.